Hey paper crafters, if you stamp and dry emboss on your cards, sometimes you might wonder, when do I dry emboss? I'm going to answer that in today's Joe Tips number 50. Thanks for joining me. I'm Joanne Rogers, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada, and I've been designing with you in mind since 1999. So when it comes to dry embossing and stamping, when we're putting together our cards, sometimes we don't know when we should be stamping and when we should be dry embossing. And the answer, of course, is it depends. So let me show you what I mean. So here are some different cards that I've created with dry embossing. And this one here is embossed on vellum. It's also heat embossed on. This one as well has just some little dots on top. This one here has got the painted background. And this one has the new hive. And so for all of these ones, except for this one, I stamped before, and the reason why is because they have a really heavy and deeply, it's usually the 3D embossing folder, but it's deeply embossed or debossed. And so if you were to stamp on top of here, it's a little too bumpy. So you want to do your stamping. I did the entire stamping of the flower and the words in advance. And same with this one here, the flower, well, the stem of the flower and all the words are done, and then I've run it through my embossing folder. Make sure your ink is dry, and then I put the flower on. Same with this one. This actually is paper that is glued on here, and the words, and all of that was done before I ran it through the embossing folder. And for this one here, so depending on your embossing folder, if you have one like this one, where there are some areas where there isn't any embossing, you can go ahead and emboss and do your stamping afterwards, but it's really up to you. What I do is I usually always stamp it first, whether it's just plain stamping or heat embossed like this one, and then I do my dry embossing afterwards. And it just seems to give a better effect. So if you've ever had problems when you've been stamping and embossing, maybe give the order of when you do the different things a try. And that's it. I hope you found this tip useful. If you do, please subscribe so you don't miss another Joe Tips video. And if you've got a paper crafting question you'd like me to answer, drop me a line at joe@designwithjoe.ca. And if you're not yet on my mailing list, why not pop on over to www.designwithjoe.ca and get yourself signed up. Thanks very much. Have a great paper crafting day.